Hey y'all, in this video I'm going to do a short tutorial on how to complete all of Maleficent's quests. So first you're going to have to get her friendship level up and start the Corvid companion, and she's going to give you this meal. You're going to cook it. Those are the ingredients that you are going to need, so make sure you have those. Once you cook it, you're then going to go and talk to the Lord Keeper. And the Lord Keeper is going to kind of go over the things with you. Once you talk to the Lore Keeper, you are then going to have to solve the puzzle again. Now, you're going to want Maleficent, her horns, to be facing the Lore Keeper and turn towards the west, and that will open up the portal to the Dreamlight Valley DMV, as you could say, but into the Unwritten Realm. You will then go over to the right and talk to the Feather. Now, once you talk to the Feather, they are going to tell you, what you need to do. You go through the gate to the right, take a left, and you can see this big dirt pile here. You're going to dig up your first key. Now, once you dig up your key, you can then go up the stairs. You're going to take a left. And then once you take a left, you're going to go up the stairs that are straight ahead. You're going to take a left, and then over here at these file cabinets, as you can see when you go around them, that one is sparkling. You interact with it, and it is going to unhide, I guess you can say, a key. You will go back down to where you came from, and in the middle stairs there you will go down, and you will see the Inky. So halfway between where you started and where you just were, there are stairs that go down. Now once you have that last key, you will then go back to where you dug up the first key, and you will go to these gates right here with the 3 locks. You're going to interact with it, and you're going to transfer those keys over. Once you transfer those keys over, it will open, and you can then open up the chest, and that's going to give you the lever you need to put the drawbridge down. So then you're going to go back to when you first enter into the Unwritten Realm, and there's steps that go down. That's on the left side. You will see this lever area where you will interact and put the lever in. Once you put the lever in, you will go straight across and see the cage. You would then go to the stairs up the left and grab the key that's behind these stones. There are steps to the left. You have to go up there and use your tool to lower the cage, and then once you lower the cage, you're going to interact with it with the key. Talk to the raven and give it the meal that Maleficent had you cook for it. Then once you give it the meal, it is going to have you go back and talk to Maleficent. You will then talk to Maleficent and craft the perch that is needed for it and place it near her castle. Once you do all of that, that completes the first friendship quest with Maleficent. It's pretty easy. It's a little back and forth. Hers are a little easier than Aurora's. The second friendship level quest with Maleficent is rekindling the fire. Of course, you're going to have to talk to her, and then you're going to have to remove these columns that Hades supposedly placed near her castle. Then once you remove all of these columns, you will have to use your pickaxe to knock them all down. There are 10 of them. And then once you complete knocking them down, you are then going to go back over to Maleficent and talk to her, and she'll tell you your next steps. When you're done talking to her, she's going to have you visit the Teapot Falls, where you are going to see a white feather to the right when you get down there. You're going to pick up the feather and going to talk to Donald, Daisy, and Scrooge McDuck. Once you are finished talking to them, it's going to have you go to the bind to a curved staircase. Now, this is the bind coming out of the library floor on the right side. When you go around it towards the base, you will see the orb there. You will then take the orb back to Maleficent, and she will then give you a bag of jewels that you will then have to take those and give those to Flynn. Once you give those to Flynn, he is going to have you then go to the trial area that's in Mythiopia. Once you go into the trial area, you will go down the steps and you will listen to Hades and Flynn argue. And as you can see, there are paintings all on the floor. Once they're done arguing, Give it a little bit of time if it glitches. Mine froze for a while. You will then use your watering can to clean these up. You will find 3 down here where they are at, and then you go back up the steps to where you first came in, and there will be 2 there that you have to clean. And then once you finish that, you will then talk to them, and then you will go out of there and go to Maleficent's house, or Hades' house, and you will listen to Maleficent and Hades. You will then leave Hades' house and go and talk to Maleficent, and that is going to end that quest. This one was pretty easy. It didn't take long to do that one at all. But it will automatically start your next challenge. You will then have to go to your mailbox and read this letter from Remy. You'll then go to Remy's and you will have to clean up all the fireys with your watering can, and then you will talk to Remy. Once you talk to Remy, you are then going to go talk to the lore keeper to find out what you need to do next and any suggestions that the lore keeper may have. She's going to give you some extra salted crystals. You're then going to go into Mount Olympus, and then you see the bridge. You're going to fish out of the little end pond for the little frog. You will then go and cook your feather bomb once you complete having all of those ingredients that you saw. You will then give the chew toy to Hades. And then once you give the chew toy to Hades, you are then going to go and talk to Maleficent. And once you talk to Maleficent, you are then going to meet them inside your house. Once you meet them inside their house, you're going to talk to Maleficent. Then you're going to go out of your house and talk to Merida to see what you need to do next. You're then going to craft a bonfire pit. And this bonfire pit is really pretty. You're then going to place that in... Well, first you're going to go back to Maleficent's castle. Listen to her and Hades talk, and then you will talk to Maleficent. After you talk to Maleficent, you will go out and place the fire pit in your valley somewhere. You're going to take your picture of them gathering. Once you complete that, you're going to go back and talk to the lore keeper again. And that is going to complete the collateral damage. Now, the last quest is the 2 Flames United, and you have to finish all of Aurora's quest to get to this point. You cannot finish Maleficent until you finish Aurora, and I will post a video of all of her quests. First, you're going into Scrooge's shop and listening to the Feather and him talk, and then you are going to talk to the Feather yourself. Once you talk to the Feather, you're then going to go to Remy's and talk to the Quill in Remy's, and then you are going to cook the Quill the meal that he wants, and then you're going to give the meal over to the Quill. Once you give them the Quill, you're going to go over to Goofy's house. You're going to talk to Goofy. And then once you talk to Goofy, you're going to take a picture of you, Goofy, and the Quill. Once you take the picture of you and the Quill, you're then going to talk to the Quill, and then you will go back and talk to the lore keeper. The lore keeper is going to give you this call to adventure little podium, and you're going to place it right here in the Library of Lore, and that is going to gather everyone. And that is going to open up the Unwritten Realm once again. You will then have to listen and talk to all of the Quills with your little group right here. Once you finish that, you have to make it all the way to the end. So you go over and you would go to the right. You go up, take a left, go up the stairs, and then you will go and take another left. Go up those stairs, and then you will take another left, and you will talk to Maleficent. As you can see, they got the fiery tornadoes. You will have to put those out. Once you put those out, you will enter the portal that Hades and Maleficent were guarding. Once you enter that portal, if you turn and look down these steps, you weave through those little waiting lines. You will talk to the typewriter. Once you talk to the typewriter, you can then exit, And you will go and talk to the lore keeper. Maleficent's quests have been a little easier, I feel like, than Aurora's. So Aurora's is like back and forth, a lot of talking. Once you talk to the lore keeper, you're then going to go and talk to Hades. When you finish talking to Hades, you're going to talk to Maleficent. Um, Once you are finished talking to her, she's going to give you your new little outfit, which is super cute. And don't forget, you have to complete all of Aurora's quests before you can do this last one. I will be posting her videos Thursday, so make sure you look out for that. I hope this helped. So if you have any questions, feel free to comment and I'll help as much as I can. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos or lives. Thank you so much for watching.